One of the easiest way to fail as a trader, whether forex or crypto or stock trader, is simply letting your losses get over you. The truth is that if you want to be profitable as a trader, the first thing you need to know is simply how to get and handle your losses, like how to handle losses the right way. Like the whole of the second week of December was a purely losing week for me. But then I was able to handle my losses in a way that it did not get over me, because I know that if I should let my losses get over me, I'm actually going to do what? Waste the whole of my account and probably end up as most of the traders who stop trading during their first 1 or 2 years and start complaining that the industry is a scam, or they simply don't know how to play the industry despite all the strategies they learn. Now, here's one thing, let me clear you before getting to today's video. One thing about trading is that you are eventually going to lose. And what will determine how you become successful, how you will gain from those losses, is simply how you get to handle those losses. That's why in today's video, I'll be sharing with you 5 psychological tips that you need to put in place whenever you are trading. This will better help you handle your losing days so that your losing days don't get over you. Because if you should let your losing days get over you, trust me on this, you end up not being a profitable trader at all. Because that losing streak is going to continue, because the loss has taken over your brain. So everything you are doing during that period will not show you any success, but will end up to being a failure. And that's how the trading industry is. If you let your losses get over you, they actually deal with you the right way. So in today's video, I'm going to share with you these 5 psychological tips that I personally use to handle my losing days and then probably recover from them maybe the following weeks or so that you too implement these things in your own trading career, so you can probably save that your account from losing out always. So that already said, let's get straight into today's video. Let me share these 5 tips with you. So when it comes to handling losses the right way as a trader, the first one is simply accepting your responsibility. So what do I mean by accepting your responsibility? So when most people, when they are trading and they start to lose, they start to blame the market. Either they will blame the market that the market is being manipulated, or they say the broker is manipulating the system, or probably they will start finding every single means to blame one thing or the other. And trust me, once you start blaming either your strategy, the broker, or the market, trust me, then you start seeing that result in your real life. That's simply how trading is. So when you are losing as a trader, accept the fact that this is your losing period, but you are not going to lose forever. So don't put the blame on anything. Just accept the fact that you are not doing something right, or probably you are doing something right, but it's not just your winning period. Because let me tell you, when it comes to trading is just like almost every single thing out there. You might be doing something right and still not getting the right result. This is not because of any problem for your side, but it's simply how that period has been planned to be. And you can't do anything, but the right thing for you to do is simply avoid that period. That's simply the thing I have for you here. So, like personally, when I started forex trading at first, the reason why most people, I would say, did not get the industry right on time when we started the first 1 to 2 years was simply because if we start to lose, we blame our trading strategy. We'll be like, okay, this strategy doesn't work. Then what do? We go out there, look for another strategy, and that strategy gives us some few wins. Then we conclude that that strategy is the best. So once we conclude that is the best, we keep trading with that strategy, which simply means that we've abandoned the strategy that we've been using to get some consistent winning for some time just because of some few losses. And then now we are starting from scratch again. Because when it comes to trading, the moment you switch from one strategy to another, it's more of you starting from scratch with total new idea. Again, meaning the idea from this former strategy no longer applies here. And this one thing I always want you to do is simply because if you are losing, accept the responsibility that you are losing, not because you are doing anything wrong, not because the market hates you, not because of anything, but it's just that this is not your winning period. That's simply all about accepting your responsibility. Don't put the blame on anything, but put the blame on the fact that that is not your winning period. And the right thing for you to do during this period is simply either lower your risk per trade or simply avoid trading. Like point number 2 here on how to handle losses is simply don't let your emotions get over you. Like, I get it that when you are losing, no matter how small or how big it is, you actually have that emotional feeling of a failure. And this actually happens despite me been trading for a long time, risking so many times, making so many profits and so many losses. Even till date, even if I should lose just a penny, I still feel it that I still have that emotional feeling. But the difference on how I handle that is what actually plays the most important role. It's simply once I start getting that bad emotional feeling that I'm a failure just because I'm losing some few trades, then you get double mindset of either having to plan a revenge trade or taking too many risks per trade, and this will actually lead you to losing more. So if you are trading and you start to fail and you realize that the losses are hitting your emotions, don't see yourself as a failure. But the best thing to do at that moment is simply like rework, just leave the trade, go and relax, and then get rid of that bad emotion. Like as the emotion is forcing you to get into the trade to revenge that money that you just lost, just walk away from your decks, go and relax, cool off your mind before coming back into the market. Because if you let your emotions get over you, trust me, you are, no matter how big that account is, if you like trade 0.001 lot size, you are still going to burn $1 million account once your emotions get over you. Because once they get over you, they control every single thing you are going to do from that moment onwards. So if you are trading and you start to lose and realize that the losses are hitting you emotionally, are affecting you emotionally, don't trade again. Just leave that trade. In fact, if you can go off for a week, do that. Like, wash away that bad emotion before coming back to the market, because the market will always do you wrong as long as your emotions are against you. The third point here is simply lower your risk per trade when you find yourself in your losing period. So when you find yourself in your losing period, the right thing to do, if you still want to trade, provided that your emotions are not controlling you and you still want to trade because you are seeing some good opportunities, the best advice I will have for you, simply take lower risks. So for example, if you are risking, let me say $100 per trade, like trying to lose $100 per trade, and you see that that's not your best period, you keep losing in and out, and you still want to trade, the right thing I advise you to do is simply like lower the risks. From risking $100 per trade, you can decide to be risking maybe $20, $30, $10, even up to $10 per single trade. Just risking that to see if you able to recover. But if you realize that even taking lower risks get you out of the market, like you are still losing them more, the best advice is simply stay off the market. So one thing that actually drained my first trading account was because when I found myself losing, I needed to make this money back to keep my account up and running again. So what did I do? Instead of me to lower my risks whilst I'm in the losing period, I decided to increase my risks even more, so that if I should win one trade, I should, like, that one trade winning should be able to help me recover 1 to 2 previous losses. And doing this actually led me to more losses because this wasn't my period. I clearly know that this wasn't my period. But then I was still forcing to make this win because I needed this win to recover my losses. So I had to take more risks. And taking more risks was clearly killing my account the more. So if you are trading and you find yourself losing out, the best thing I advise you to do is simply lower your risks if you still want to trade. This is if you want to trade, but I'm not advising you to trade. But if you want to trade during that period, the best thing is lower your risks. Take lower risks. If, as I already said, if you are risking $100, you can try risking $30 and below to make sure that no matter what, your account doesn't get affected that much. So that's simply it about the third point here when it comes to trading. When you find yourself in your losing period, it's simply lower the amount you are risking per trade. The fourth thing to do when you find yourself in your losing period is simply analyze your losses. So how do you analyze your losses? Like, when you are losing, the right thing to do, like normally as every trader, I believe you journal down your trade. You journal down the reason why you took that trade, the position size, how you were feeling when you were taking that trade, your performance, total, the overall thing that influences that particular trade. So if you are a trader who is not taking trading journal, then you are making a very big mistake. Start it today. But if you already have a trading journal and you find yourself in your losing period and you actually journal down every single thing about all those trade that loses, here's the right thing to do. Go back onto that list that you just make right now on the trade you took, mostly the ones you lost. Take a look at them. Ask yourself, what did I do wrong that made me to lose this trade? Like, it might not even be your losing period. It might simply be because you are doing something wrong that is out of your normal strategy that's pushing you to lose. So, like, just take a look at it. Look at the whole thing. Analyze all your losses. Was I mentally okay to take this trade? Did I agree with myself to take this trade? Did I get enough confirmation to take this trade? Like, did I just take this trade as a gamble or what? Like, answer yourself all these questions about the trade. And trust me, one of the best things you can do for yourself whilst questioning yourself is simply getting the most honest reply ever. Like, giving yourself the most honest answer ever. And trust me, most of the times the most honest answer might sound brutal to your own ears. But trust me, the more brutal you are to yourself will be the best thing you can do to yourself to recover from losses. Because if you are unable to identify your source of the loss, like, you are never going to get out of it. Your losing period might continue for the next few months either. But I'm not condemning that you are going to lose forever. But when you are unable to tell yourself the main reason why you are losing, the process will actually continue since you don't know what is pushing you to lose. Like for me, there was a time whereby I was losing, and because I was able to journal down my trade, I knew exactly why I was losing. The reason was that not for this second week of December. No, this was something of past experience. The reason was that I wasn't waiting for my usual confirmation, because I learned about this kangaroo tail. So I decided that, okay, let me trade out this kangaroo tail. But I realized that the kangaroo tail on the time frame that I was using wasn't really effective. Like, the kangaroo tail isn't effective when I'm using the hourly time frame, but then it becomes effective when I'm using the daily time frame. So I get to analyze my losses on different time frame on that same strategy, and I realized that, okay, I was using this strategy on the wrong time frame. Meanwhile, if I'm trading my usual strategy of pullback and breakout, it really works it really works well when I'm trading it on the hourly time frame. But then the kangaroo tail and most other strategy were more effective on the daily time frame. So how was I able to find it? I was able to find this because I was able to I journaled down my trade. I journaled down the reason why I took this trade, and I was able to go through it again to see the main reason why I was losing. Fifth point is simply, don't give up. When you find yourself losing, don't give up. Instead of you to say, okay, since I'm in my losing period, let me just withdraw the little profit that I've made from the past month, the past year, and just forget everything about trading. Like, really, you just want to give up on your career like that? Because I haven't seen any sort of job out there that actually pays as much as Forex trading. Yes, you heard me right. Like, every other work out there, they are losing months as well. Like, even YouTube here, we content creators here on YouTube, there are months whereby we might get the most views, but then not make as much money as other months. Like, this is not the only YouTube channel I run. If you think this is the only YouTube channel, then you're probably deceiving yourself. This is not the only YouTube channel I run. I have other YouTube channels where I also create other sort of videos. But then there are months whereby I'll get the most views and not make up to months whereby I did not get much views. And then even on physical businesses as well, this happens. There are days whereby, like, you see that everything is moving well, but when you take a look and analyze, you realize that, no, this has been a poor day. This doesn't mean you should just quit that business, give up or something. It's simply a sign for you that just relax, try re-strategize. When I say re-strategize, doesn't mean quitting your former strategy. This is simply trying to advance that your former strategy, make it a top pick, because the more you use something, the better it gets. Like, when I started with this my pullback and the breakout strategy, my retest, my trend riding strategy and everything, like, at first it wasn't the best for me. Like, I can take 10 trade, win 5, lose 5. I can take 10 trade, lose 4, win 6. Take 10 trade, lose 7, win 3. But then over the years, I stick to this strategy, keep pushing them up, keep pushing them up. Now my win ratio on good days are way better than my losing ratios. And this is one thing that you need to know as well. It's simply, when you're in your bad days, doesn't simply mean you should give up. It's simply a sign that you need to keep pushing harder, so that, because once you are able to break out of that losing period, that simply means that you are into the game for real. Hello guys, that's simply all about handling your losing period as a trader, whether crypto, forex trading, all applies the same. This is simply the only way you can handle your losses. And when you implement these 5 things I just shared with you in this video, trust me, you're going to see a major difference in your trading career. So that already said, hope you find this video helpful. Don't forget to tell me what you feel down in the comment section. Also join my Telegram channel so that you can drop your video requests. Tell me whatever answer whatever question you feel on the Telegram group there, so that we can get to help each other. So that already said, have a nice day. Bye.